Turbo and 2K show.
What is up, 2K crew? Yes, you are. We are live, and we are drafting live, 2Ks. How exciting is this, man? It was. I had all this plans of grandeur that hopefully, maybe, I'm not gonna say maybe, but by the time we get to next year's draft and we do this, it'll be a little bit more interactive, a little bit more. I don't know, just viewer friendly, I guess you could say. But we're here. Football's here. We had college yesterday, which was awesome. And for those of you that are joining live on YouTube or on Facebook, welcome. I am Ryan Turbo Jackson. That's Kyle 2K's Kaler. We make up the Turbo and 2K's team here. And if you are watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit the like. Drop a comment so we can, especially this this episode, ladies and gentlemen, because we want to hear all the shit talking. We want to hear how stupid someone is for drafting someone, or how good of a pick that is. I mean, it kind of is what it is, but yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. The draft starts in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 2Ks, and.
Dude, this is like the most excited I've been to podcasts in a long time. I mean, anybody that knows me knows I love drafts, and so we've done a lot of draft episodes where we've just had like
a recap.
Yeah, but never have we done like an actual draft that we're betting on. We're gonna talk about this for the next however many weeks. Yeah, I am excited.
And for those of you, I will give you the draft order here. For those of you that are partaking in this, lo and behold, 2Ks. And for those of you that didn't see in the Turbo and 2Ks 2K crew, the Facebook group, every year I go on and do a live draw out of a hat to see the draft order. Nothing spectacular. No one ran a 40. No one had to do flip cup. I mean, which would be awesome. But we actually do have some folks that live in a different state than Michigan, so it would be kind of hard. But maybe one year we can drag Jeremy's ass up here and have him draft live with us. So fingers crossed, maybe fingers crossed. But yeah, I somehow ended up with the number 1 overall pick. Not too thrilled with it, but it is what it is. The reigning defending champion, Mr. Jack Eggleston, has picked 2, which kind of scares me. Kind of scares me a little bit. Jack is an excellent drafter. And then our newcomer, Emily. Emily has picked 3. Matt has picked 4. The newly wedded Carl Gearhart. Congratulations, KG and Mrs. KG. Just got married yesterday, so for his effort in that, he has picked 5. Your dad, Troy, has picked 6. Brett, who I believe came in second last year, has picked 7. Jeremy has picked 8. Kyla has picked 9. And we're bookends, Kyle. We are bookends and I make this joke every single time we line up for a draft. It's usually you, then me, or me, then you. So we could not be polar opposites this time. And there's really no way we could steal each other's picks. So yeah, we've got another minute here before the draft starts. The draft starts at 8:15, and just to kind of give you guys and gals a little preview of what we're looking at here. Let me switch to that screen here. This is the draft screen. This is the best I could do. And over here on the right, you'll see who's joining who and all the. This is basically like a message board over here on the far right. Excuse me.
Is everybody in the room now? Do we know that?
Yeah. We're still missing Carl, your dad, and Jeremy. And
Troy Kaler has joined the draft.
It looks like Jeremy and your dad have jumped out of here about 1,000,000 times. So, but on the far left here, 2K crew, this is who's on my team, and in the middle here is all the draft eligible players. So you can kind of keep up. It'll say up here who's been taken. So it should be pretty easy to follow along with. But yeah, next year we will have another screen here that will have a zoom on it. And the draft starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Should I wait? Should I wait? Now, what's really cool is that we did your fantasy draft this
Yes,
Friday,
yes.
and we were all live in person, which is always fun, but can be kind of a shit show. Yeah, it took us like 3.5 hours to draft, so that wasn't too much fun. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I don't mind them every now and again. I like this style because it goes fast. Everything's already locked in. You don't have to go back in and edit the teams or anything like that. But
And there's a time
having a part like a full party with the draft board, having some
There's nothing like
having
that.
some adult beverages that makes for a good time.
Well, I'm gonna end the suspense, and I'm gonna take Justin Jefferson number 1. See how it says who I drafted, and Team Eggleston is on the clock. On the clock. And yeah, if I was telling 2Ks before we started, I was like, yeah, Jack's the one I'm worried about. Jack's a very good drafter, and it seems like his teams are always in the mix. Always in the mix. Jack's a very good drafter. His teams are always in the mix. Always in the mix. Yes, Denise, it is too late to join. I'm sorry.
Goes Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, number 2 overall.
RB.
Number 2 overall, Derrick Henry.
What else is that offense gonna do? It's the Derrick Henrys.
It's a very good point. I suppose I could turn up the tunes here a little bit.
We are at the number 3 pick. Go Pack Go is the team name.
The newcomer, Emily. Emily, this is Brett's wife, Emily. There's Derrick Henry.
Austin Eckler, good pick.
Oh, we're going running back heavy here early. Austin Eckler, if you're a... Carl still is not here. But yeah, I was wondering if he was going, which he's definitely not a... Christian McCaffrey is gone. He's definitely not a stranger for auto pick, that's for sure.
No.
And in this case right now, if he is auto-picked for, Jamar Chase would be his pick, which is not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick at all. Now, 2Ks, what is your favorite draft position? 1 through 10.
I like where I'm at. I like that 10th pick. In some years, it kind of depends on who we have at the top. I might want the first pick. I like to be places where I can take 2 guys.
Sure.
Just because in the middle of the draft, I feel like you're making a decision taking 1 guy, and then you have a load of picks before it gets back to you again. To where with this, I like being able to take 2. In this draft, I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad that I ended up at the end, just because there's 3 or 4 different ways I think you could go with that first pick, and I honestly didn't want to make that decision.
I was actually waiting. I wanted pick 3 in this draft. I wanted pick 3 because I have, in my opinion, Jefferson, Chase, and McCaffrey are the top 3. And I honestly would have been happy with any one of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're sitting here at number 1, you got to take the most bang for your buck, I think.
There's Jamar Chase on the auto pick.
Jamar Chase. Now,
I think I know where my old man's going here. We talked about it a little bit today.
Papa 2Ks. I bet she goes Bijan Robinson.
I'm thinking that you're right.
I know Troy. Troy and I have drafted together many, many times. Oh, and Tyreek Hill comes off really quick. So we got Troy taking Bijan and Brett taking Tyreek Hill. And Jeremy is on the clock taking Patrick Mahomes. Ooh. Patrick Mahomes, first quarterback on.
Wow.
Jeremy changed his name to the Indiana Norse.
Travis fucking Kelsey goes. I'm gonna double up here on running backs, people. I am going to go. Give me some. I'm gonna go Nick Chubb.
Oh, good pick.
And
You going Dallas based here, 2Ks?
I'm gonna go Mr. Josh Jacobs.
Ooh, the newly signed Josh Jacobs. Saquon goes. So what is your take on where Jonathan Taylor will play this year?
And we talked about this a little bit during our draft on Friday night. I think right now you're going to see. I think people are afraid of Jonathan Taylor, where to take him in this fantasy draft, because you just don't know what happens. But there's a chance that if he's traded here in the next few days, the next week or so, he could go to a team and possibly be the number 1 pick in fantasy drafts, depending on the situation. I look at teams like the Miami Dolphins that could consider him, the Buffalo Bills that maybe need a running back also. And if they were to add a guy like Jonathan Taylor, look, this was the no doubt number 1 pick of last year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously battled some health injuries last year, but if he's healthy, there's an argument to be made that he's the best running back in the NFL.
We've had some action here. We had Najee Harris go off the board to Jeremy, Tony Pollard to Brett, your old man took Cooper Kupp, and Carl took Devontae Adams. Okay, we're on me. So I better get my shit together. I'm going to go A.J. Brown, maybe? Hold on. Yes, A.J. Brown. No, it's not me. Yeah.
Well, we're on the 8th pick of the 2nd round right now.
Stephon Diggs is gone. Stephon Diggs, and then Jack takes Josh Allen. Lots of quarterbacks going here early 2Ks. Mm-hmm. Lots of action here. Well, AJ Brown's still there, so I'm going to stick with my AJ Brown pick, because basically I really don't want to scratch him off. And I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs.
A lot of excitement there in Detroit with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Absolutely. And what's weird is that how this draft is playing out is compared to what we did Friday, because I've got 2 out of the first 3 picks. I have 2 of the same players, and I drafted 9 out of 10 as opposed to 1 out of 10. So it is back on Mr. Eggleston, the reigning champion. For those of you that are watching, I'm not so sure I will put this out on audio for the podcast, because I'm not sure how. I was just thinking about that. I'm not so sure how awesome this would be to listen to while you're driving around. So yeah, this will probably just be we'll probably just live on YouTube and Facebook. So, and for those of you that are over on Facebook, hop on over to the YouTube part of it. It's a way better experience. I mean, granted, we still love for you guys and gals to hang out with us, comment, and especially on Facebook, click the link that's there so I can see your name and your lovely profile picture.
There goes Jonathan Taylor off the board. So, good place to get him. I mean, you take him in the 3rd round, and like I just said a little bit ago, potentially still could be the number 1 back in fantasy football, depending on where he ends up. Absolute stud, and to get him, in the 3rd round, value-wise, to me is just sky's the limit for him.
And he's not going to be traded to a bad team. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the thing here, is that it's just finding that trade partner. I guess the only kind of risk or downside is if the Colts don't trade him and he sits out. I mean, that's kind of the only downfall, I guess. Garrett Wilson to Matt, CeeDee Lamb to Emily, and Carl takes Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I knew that he was going to go with Jalen Hurts there, too.
I wonder when the last time the Lions had this many fantasy picks in like the first 3 rounds. I bet you it's been a while. I bet you there he is. Bet you it's been a while. All right, T. Higgins is off the board to Brett, followed up by Chris Olave to Jeremy. T. Higgins, there he is. And for those of you that are watching, I'm pretty sure Kyle likes to draft more than he likes to play fantasy football. Kyle takes Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, Debo.
2Ks goes Debo.
And I'm going to jump on that last quarterback before I think you wait a little bit. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. I like the mobile quarterbacks in these leagues.
Lamb Jack. I thought you were going to go Aaron Rodgers.
I really was hoping Jalen Hurts would get there, but I knew that my dad was going to be.
Kyla takes Jalen Waddle. Good pick. Followed by ETN to Jeremy. Hey, you and I were talking before we kicked off here. It's like, man, these drafts are a little, especially this draft here, considering this is only our 4th year doing this. It's got to be our 4th year. We've had kind of the same core, minus a couple. Mrs. 2Ks is not a part of this one, even though she was the last couple. But we've had pretty much the same core group of people. So big shout out to you guys that enjoy this and follow it and want to spend your money to do it. So, but yes, and I'm with you, Kyle. I'm more of I want to draft instead of just play.
It's so much fun. Much fun.
Oh yeah.
Because you really don't know. I mean, anybody can get up here and talk like they know what they're talking about when it comes to this, but there's so much luck that is involved, and being able to keep your teams healthy.
You said it like we have anything to do with keeping them healthy.
Yeah. And that's what happens. I mean, so many times you see, a team or two in leagues that lose their key. They own their first round pick or their second round pick in the first week or two of the season. Yeah. And, that can break your season right there.
I'm pretty sure your dad has had Aaron Jones on his roster for like the past 4 years. Mark Andrews to Team Gearhart. Damian Pierce to Brett's team, Footstool Lance a Little.
One thing, though, about picking like 1 or 2 or 9 or 10 is, man, there's a long wait. That's the one thing about it. I do like being able to take 2 guys, but there is a long wait that goes in with it. And you watch a lot of the guys that you have marked on your board vanish.
Gone. Yep. Brees Hall to Emily. And DK Metcalf to Matt. We are on Mr. Eggleston. Takes Kenneth Walker III.
Good pick. I like that pick a lot. I'm kind of still trying to figure out why Kenneth Walker III is not getting the respect that I think he deserves. I know that the Zach Charbonnet draft there, but I still think that's Walker's backfield, and Pete Carroll over the years has normally went with one guy and one guy only.
I have a feeling it's more of the injury type thing. So maybe. But yeah, he showed last year in his rookie year that he's more than capable of rolling with shit. So I am gonna go. Man, this is the. Give me Joe Burrow. And and Calvin Ridley.
I like the Calvin Ridley pick a lot. Obviously missed the whole last season, but it was nothing as far as with injuries. It was all just a suspension.
Devontae Smith is gone.
And now being in a system where he's got a good quarterback throwing him the ball, I really like.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Calvin Ridley this year.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of the only downside I could see with drafting Justin Jefferson is that the likelihood of you combining him and Kirk Cousins is kind of a far-fetched. I'm saying it's not impossible, but I have a feeling even if you did team those two up on your team, you would probably be better off getting a more top-line quarterback like a Burrow, or I was even thinking about Justin Herbert there, which is one of the things I was kind of leaning on to go instead of Justin Jefferson going Chase there, so that you could put him back to back like that. We have Devontae Smith and Christian Watson. Go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. There he is. Jump on my phone to see who this is. Really don't want to watch it live. I just want to see the comments here. There. Rich Garrity says he loves the Calvin Ridley pick. Me too. I'll put you down there. And with the hook'em.
There you go.
Thank you for giving a shout out there, Mr. Rich Garrity. And Rashad White, Alexander Madison, Keenan Allen, James Conner, and Amari Cooper are off the board. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. Wow, Nikki. What's up, Nikki? How we doing? Do. 2K's on the clock. Darren Waller's gone. Your dad's watching the show too.
Kamara's got a suspension, but I'm going to take a chance on him.
Kayla's watching it too. Hey, Kayla, what's up? And I got to catch up on this. Aaron Jones is gone. Your dad took him. There's Darren Waller. Someone took Dameon Pierce earlier. Okay. DJ Moore. I like that pick. It's sneaky. Kayla says, first time watching a podcast in my life. Well, Kayla, you're going to have to join us more often.
Picked a podcast where we're not doing a whole lot of talking.
Right.
Mostly studying.
Studying and taking your money.
Yeah, the DJ Moore pick, unfortunately, he really hasn't had a quarterback his entire career, but has proven that he puts up good fantasy numbers every year. Now, teaming up with Justin Fields, we'll see.
He said it's definitely a TBD, that's for sure.
Speaking of Justin Fields, there he goes.
I think the upside for that is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles Sanders, I missed him. And yeah, it's definitely if Fields doesn't do it this year or do anything better, he has weapons this year. I mean, you can cut through the bullshit on all of it now. See, we're on. What's your dad's pick? Papa 2Ks. Papa 2Ks is on the clock.
T.J. Hawkinson. DeAndre Hopkins off the board.
Did someone tell your dad that Hawkinson does not play for the Lions anymore?
DeAndre Hopkins is I don't know what to think about him. I mean, obviously the name factor, but I just don't, with the Titans, I don't know. Do they have anybody that can get him the ball?
Valid point. But you could make the argument that if anyone in the league can have 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns from a quarterback that no one knows about, it is Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. Look what he did with Houston for how many years, and was still one of the best receivers in the league. My question is, yes, can Tannehill get him the ball? I honestly think so, but is he going to stay healthy? He's had trouble staying on the field, whether it's suspensions or what else. But that would be more of my concern with them. I do think Tennessee's probably the best spot as far as, because you have to respect Derrick Henry.
Right.
I mean, he himself
absolutely
has won you so many games, and yeah, you just have to. You have to. So if you're ever going to go get single covered, it's with that. It's with that situation. Speaking of Kirk Cousins goes to Emily. Jack with George Kittle. George Kittle. Denny Small's watching 2Ks.
What up, Denny?
What's up, Denny? I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. And Brandon Ayuk.
I like Ayuk this year.
Me too.
I like him a lot.
Me too.
Been in the league a couple of years now. It just seems like he's been on the brink of breaking out, and I just feel like this year is maybe possibly that year where he takes off.
And I think
he's got the big play. He's always had that in him. For me, it's just been the consistency. So if you can get that, I think he's due for a breakout year this year.
Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
And if Brock Purdy stays healthy, I think that's going to go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go a long way. Kyle Pitts off the board. Kyle Pitts to Emily. Matt's on the clock. One of these days, I'm going to have to ask Matt, what's the deal with this team name? It's been the same every year we've played it. SCLSU Mud Dogs.
No, he just fucking took the guy I was wanting. Dallas Goedert. Fuck you, Mud Dogs.
Golly, you're like 6 picks away from him. Like 6 picks away. Calm down. Carl is actually drafting.
Oh, he's in there now, huh?
Yeah, his little helmet's lit up.
Just strategy of just sitting back and letting the computer do it for him on the important picks, and now he'll jump in and.
What's up, Trav? What's up, Joe? How we doing, boys? Yeah, it's like, well, and then we go back to normal Carl shit. Taking Aaron Rodgers. Carl, maybe you might have
Log back out.
yeah. You might have had the auto pick take the wheel on that one there, kid. I don't even know why I'm looking. I'm not gonna. Javonte Williams. He was someone that before he got hurt last year was doing amazing, and I think with the new coaching staff over there, he has a very good chance of being awesome yet again.
Speaking of the Aaron Rodgers, though, I will throw my bold statement out right now of what I think this season. All the talk about Justin Jefferson, deservingly so, Jamar Chase. I will say that number one wide receiver in fantasy football this year is Aaron Rodgers. Number one, Garrett Wilson. That's my bold.
It would not shock me. It would not shock me. David Montgomery to Team 2Ks. It's kind of sad to see him leave Chicago, but if you're going to go anywhere, I mean, it's not a bad backfield to be sharing. James, what's up, man? How we doing?
What do I want to do?
I thought you were going to be fancy and bring your laptop up here.
Man.
Oh, we've got a question when you're done with your pick there, 2Ks. For those of you that are watching, are you enjoying this? I mean, you're obviously watching, so.
What a tough pick. I could not come up with who I want. I had a bunch of guys that went there. I'm going to take a flyer. I know there's an injury there, but...
Oh, Jerry Jeudy. You were just upset that Aaron Rodgers got picked before.
Yeah, that's really what I wanted.
James Cook is off the board. This guy was the same as our Draft Friday 2Ks. Drake London. London seemed to fall in our draft, and he seemed to be. He's not falling. I mean, he's right. It's pretty much right where he should be picked, but he fell kind of a long way in our draft. Is it just because of the quarterback situation there in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I tend to, really. I like to use my early picks and drafts on players that are on good teams. And the Falcons. One thing about the Falcons too is they're going to run the football. They ran the ball more than anybody in the league last year, and it wasn't even close. And taking a first round pick on a talent like Bijan Robinson, you have to expect they're just going to run the football again.
Especially with a rookie. Chris Zeed, what's up? What's up, neighbor? Yeah, especially on a rookie contract that you're going to get he's not going to have fewer miles on the tires than he has right now. But let me get to our question here, 2Ks. This is from Rich Garrity. Does Dalton Schultz thrive with the Texans with C.J. Stroud under center? I mean,
I like it. I mean,
I do too.
Was nothing but consistent with the Cowboys. The one thing I will say with the Cowboys is there was a lot of other weapons to kind of open things up for him, especially the middle of the field. He took advantage of that. I don't know. It's not really. The Texans don't have a whole lot of, that's drawing a lot of attention other places there, so I think you can more key in on him. But I think as far as just as a fantasy tight end, I think he's going to get a lot of targets.
And what do they say? The best thing for a rookie quarterback is a good safety blanket. Mm-hmm. So, and I couldn't name another receiver in Houston. So
No.
he should be getting his fair share of targets. Pittman Jr. to Matt, DeAndre Swift to Emily. What are your thoughts on Deshaun Watson, 2K? Do you think he'll have a bounce back year? I mean, he can't have a much worse year than last year.
Yeah, he was absolutely horrible last year.
Oh, he's terrible. What's up, Broseph? How we doing, kid?
I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot good to say about Deshaun Watson, and I don't know if I ever will again.
Me either.
And just watching him just completely shit the bed last year was very enjoyable for me, and I kind of hope he shits the bed a little bit more this year. That team, they're going to hand the ball to Nick Chubb, and that's their. If Chubb's healthy, he's going to get a lot of touches, and they're going to, I think, just kind of rely on a very strong defense that they have, and more of a clock management game offensively. But yeah, as far as getting back to Watson, though, he's got to be better than what he was last year, right?
Has to, absolutely has to. Because I have a feeling there was very few quarterbacks that were actually worse than him. But I mean, that just goes to show you that even though they are professional athletes and they are absolutely amazing athletically, when you miss that much time, I mean, there's a lot of rust that's on there. Oh shit, it's my pick. Go Evan Ingram. Totally out of my. Probably skipped ahead a little bit to get him. That's okay. Get here. Give me. Christian Kirk. I'm sitting here chatting going, man, why isn't anyone picking? Well, it's you, dumbass. Let's go. Let's go. This is round 9 of 16. 9 of 16. Those that are with us, one thing that 2Ks and I were talking about as far as next year possibly, just doing a 12-round draft and getting rid of the kickers and defense. I think that'd be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more fun. Possibly adding another flex, maybe in place of one of those. So just kick it around, see what you think. Let us know. Tyler Lockett to Troy. Sam Laporta to Carl. And Trevor Lawrence to Matt. David Njoku to Emily. And AJ Dillon to Jack. What's up, Mr. Mater? How we doing? Ooh, we have our first defense off the board, 2Ks.
Who was the first one taken?
49ers. 49ers by Brett. Jeremy takes Cortland Sutton. Just looking at the photo, I was like, man, Russell Wilson looks really weird. But it's not. It's Cortland Sutton. That's probably why it looks weird. Okay, we are on Kayla. Devontae, what's up, dude? He's gone. Sutton's gone. Oh, Chell's watching.
Uh-oh.
Oh, back to business. Back to business. What's up, Chell? Josh says good luck. I tell you what, he did a draft for his work league, and he ended up with a banger of a team.
I like his team in our league that on Friday night. I thought he.
He probably has the highest ceiling from a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea says, "What up, losers?"
Hi.
What up, losers? Speaking of Drake London, you're welcome, 2Ks. Yeah, my cheat sheet, he was 41. So you got him at 9th round.
Yeah, I just saw the name there, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta take a chance on it.
Should we ask Chelsea how many picks there have been so far? End of the 6th round. We have like 56 picks done. Samaje P. Ryan.
I like P. Ryan. Especially with the new Sean Payton coach in there. He's always been, kind of created the Kamara with a running back that can catch the ball in the backfield.
Chelsea said 67. Samaje P. Ryan. His name's really fun to say. His name's really fun to say. What are your thoughts on the Trey Lance trade?
It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. You already have probably the most inaccurate quarterback in the NFL in Dak Prescott, and now you traded and brought in the second worst quarterback as far as accuracy goes. I'll throw a lot of interceptions. Give the defense a lot of good looks for interceptions in practices.
We got Deshaun Watson going to Jeremy. Daniel Carlson going to, man, we're getting kickers and defenses out of the way here a little early. Going to Brett, and Marquise Brown going to Troy. We are on Carl.
Marquise Hollywood Brown. He's another one kind of with Drake London that stayed a long time.
Yeah. Justin Tucker's off the board. See what Matt does here. See what Matt does. Oh, excuse me. See who's on your team, Kyle. Jamal Williams, Patriots D. George Pickens is taken by Jack. Whoops.
Yeah, this is when the draft gets down to into the nitty gritty a little bit. Now you're kind of just hoping for a little bit of luck.
Man, I missed a bunch of these. That's right. Take Jeff Wilson. This is round 11. Go Zach Charbonnet. Kyle Norton, what's up, dude?
Is he Kyle Norton?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. What up, Kyle?
Jack takes Evan McPherson. Emily takes Yohung Koo.
Getting that kicker, right?
Yeah. Steelers defense taken by Matt.
Kickers and defenses, I feel like I've just like started going in the 11th round.
Well, you know as well as I do, once one takes one, then everyone's got to go.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Create a trend. That normally happens in these drafts.
Yep.
As far as defenses and that, I just play the fucking matchups. I'll wait and, you know, obviously, you know, San Francisco defense, the Steelers defense, if you can get those at the right time, but then, you know, maybe fly on it, but honestly, I fucking just look ahead at what their first couple of games are and there's still some very, very intriguing players on the board right now, especially young talent at receiver.
Definitely some meat on that bone. Definitely some meat there. Carl takes Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee. Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes goes to Brett. Brandon Cooks picked up by Jeremy. Jahan Dotson. That's one I had my eye on.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Kayla grabbed him. Kayla grabbed him. For those of you that are watching, give us a big thumbs up. Give us a heart. Drop us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know whose team do you think is the best, whose team do you think is the worst. And if it's 2Ks, I'll be happy with both of them. JSN, 2Ks. Taking an Ohio State, dude? Damn, that's gotta hurt.
He's one of those young receivers that, you know, I haven't watched him play in a couple years. But
Ben Fisher, what's up, dude? Ben says, what up? Quentin Johnson. Cole Kmet. He took Tyler Algier, whatever his name is. Gabe Davis goes to Kyla. Cole Kmet goes to Jeremy Goendy. Quentin Johnson goes to Brett with Troy on the clock. Ben says, when you guys get done, come over and help me finish this tile shower.
No thanks.
I'll tell you what, Ben, I read that completely wrong the first time I read it. I was like, I'm not going to go help you shower. And I'm probably not going to help you finish the shower because you actually probably want it to look nice. Miss Brenda says hi. Miss Brenda Gearhart, how are you? For all that, your dad takes Jordan Addison. Carl takes Zeke.
Yeah, what's Zeke's role going to be in New England? That's kind of he's an intriguing one to me. I feel like he's still a good option as far as a goal line back, could score a lot of touchdowns in that New England offense. I think Ramondre Stevenson will be their most featured back, obviously, but he's more of a big play hitter, catches the ball a lot out of the backfield. But I think when they get in situations, goal to go, I still think Zeke has some value.
Oh yeah, and you look at how many times, how many backs when Brady was there, how many backs they featured, and it was always so hard to pick one. Remember, you had like Stephen Ridley and James White, and that, and even.
And you always like those backs that can, and I know I get it that Brady's not there anymore, but when you think of New England running backs, you better be able to pass block and protect the quarterback, and Zeke is about as good as there is in the business as far as protecting that quarterback. So that right there alone will keep him on the field. Is if he can protect the quarterback, Belichick will have him on the field a lot more than I think people are maybe expecting.
Oh, absolutely. Jamaica Dave says, "Sup, Turbo? What's up, dude? How we doing? Long time no see." Long time no see. Dak Prescott to Matt. Juju Smith-Schuster to Emily. Juju. We are just getting ready to wrap up round 12, going to round 13, ladies and gentlemen. Do-do-do. I am going to go Michael Thomas.
Stud. Can he stay healthy?
Yes.
That's the only question with him. If he's on the field, he's a touchdown machine.
Yes. And
let's not forget, he's got Derek Carr there. Derek Carr is a step up. I get it. He's not a not a top tier quarterback in the NFL, but he's a step up from what Michael Thomas has had since Breeze has left there.
I'm going to go Jerick McKinnon. Ben says, I'd rather be picking an entire Bucks fantasy team right now than working the third weekend in a row. Well, I tell you what, I guess that's one of the benefits of owning your own business, right? Right? Brenda says, have fun, fellas. Gotta go. See you, Brenda. Thanks for stopping by. We got another question from Rich here. Is Zeke a lesser version of Jamal Williams or a better version in today's game? To me, it's going to come down to I think his attitude, because if you have an attitude, you're not going to play for Belichick, and I have a feeling that it's gonna depend on him, not the other way around. Does he have the upside to be? I'm not gonna say a top 10 back anymore. but maybe like a top 15 points wise. Yeah, just because of he's going to get the vast majority of the goal line and all the short yardage. And is he a guy that's gonna tear off and break a 60-yarder? No. That. And to be honest with you, he really hasn't been that his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just overall blazing speed guy. He's been more of a short distance speed, yes, but kind of track star, no.
Man, Carl is loving his Lions.
Yes. Let's see. Jack took the Dolphins defense. Emily took OBJ.
Anthony Richardson. Kind of had a feeling that was going to go too, because I was kind of holding out for him also to take a flyer on that.
Harrison Butker to Matt. Lions to Carl. Anthony Richardson to Troy. Jalen Warren to Brett. And Jeremy takes the Saints defense. Ben says I'm having a Ben fit right now. Now, Ben, is said shower in your house or a client's house? Kayla takes the Cowboys defense. 2Ks takes Pat Freiermuth. Where's 2K's going to go next? But I think to answer your question a little bit more thoroughly, Rich, I don't think Zeke's going to get as many touchdowns and points as Jamal Williams had last year. But I think you're going to see a very similar role, yes. Elijah Mitchell, Tank Bixby to Kayla. Jets defense to Jeremy. How many defenses does Jeremy have?
Well, I'm officially out of position players. I have to go get a kicker and a defense now with 2 picks left.
Ben says client, family, starts with Jake, ends in Mental. Jeremy does have 2 defenses. So it wasn't just my imagination. Carl takes Treylon Burks. Troy takes Devin Kaler. Brett takes Nico Collins. Matt takes Zach Ertz. I've always liked Zach Ertz. I hope he has a bounce back year, even though I still have no idea who's throwing to him. Mm-hmm. Rashad Bateman goes to Emily. What's up, Mary? How we doing? I am in the same boat as you, Kyle. Nope, I have 1 empty bench slot.
I am currently looking for a defense.
Ben says, someone cheer me up and pick a team with 5 kickers.
Well, Frank's not in the draft anymore.
Yes, I would say that would be your man, Franklin Plummer. And whenever I start to talk about this, Kyle reminds me that he beat me twice that year, so.
Oh, shit. You will never live that one down.
Yet another reason why I hate Deshaun Watson. Dude averaged like 60 points a game, except the 2 weeks I played Frank, and he put up like 18.
I was talking all day. I'm going to call my dad out right now on his bullshit because he takes Anthony Richardson from me, and I really wanted to take a flyer on him. He fucking took Jalen Hurts, too, and we also talked about him. If I'm taking Jalen Hurts, there's no way I'm even thinking about another quarterback. I will find that quarterback in the bye week and go with somebody. But this is mostly just a fuck you for taking both of those quarterbacks that I wanted.
Sent some
It
hostility.
seems like, one of these
between
years
the,
I'm going to get smart and I'm going to just stop talking about my strategy with him.
Or you could just go the other way with it.
But unfortunately, we think a lot alike when it comes to this.
Let's see here. I'm going to take the Bills defense. And this fly has got to go.
That fly is driving me nuts, man. It's been driving me nuts since this draft kicked off. For you people listening, I'm sorry if you keep on listening to me blow into the mic the whole time, but it's because this fly keeps landing on my fucking lip.
Not even landing on the mic, just on your lip. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know. 2Ks.
I would help you out, but I'm not even allowed to look at position players right now because I'm out. So I can't draft any more of them, so they don't let me. I can't even see who's on the board other than kickers and defenses right now.
Ben says, peace out. Good luck, everyone. I'm not getting shit done listening to this. Well, you could always just put us on Bluetooth speaker and just keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Go Michael Gallup. Don't know why. All right, round 15 of 16, ladies and gents. This is either when it takes forever or it goes really, really fast.
Raheem Mostert. He's the starter. I mean, we're talking about a starting running back on a team right now.
The 15th round.
In the 15th round.
Wasn't he the back in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. CEH. It's another forgotten guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, fly. So we are on Matt, round 15 of 16. When we were doing our draft Friday, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of. It didn't seem like a lot of people were taking any immense amount of time in between picks.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it went forever.
Yeah.
Matt takes Jared Goff. Carl takes Jacoby Myers. Troy takes the Bucks defense. Brett takes Elijah Moore. Jeremy takes Greg Dulcich. For those of you who don't know, that's a Denver tight end. Looks like he has a massive, massive amount of lettuce. His picture is just luscious. See, we got Kayla, and then 2K's last two picks. Damian Harris. So 2K's is going to go defense, then a kicker.
I'm going to go kicker first.
Switching it up.
Yeah, Graham Gano.
Don't you know?
In defense, I waited until the last pick. I still got who I wanted. Only because they play who I believe is the worst team in the NFL, and the Cardinals. Week 1. I will take that matchup.
The Commanders. Is Chase Young healthy this year? He looks to be.
Yeah, I believe so.
He looks to be, and he's just as big as always. They were showing on Pat McAfee's show. They had a video of one of the little fights in training camp, and here's all these guys like this tall, and then there's Chase Young. It's like, geez, oh, Bates. You forget how big that guy is.
Well, I'm the first one done.
Let's see, we got Kayla. Take a peek at your team here, 2Ks. Here I'm looking at your roster, and it has their bye week, and for whatever reason I put it in my head that that's the projected points.
Like that
Nick
does
Chubb,
not
5.
look good.
Alvin Kamara 11, huh? Okay.
Yeah, Kamara will be taking 0 points for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's got the Jim Harbaugh.
You got to be well rested. Yeah, he is sitting on with Jim Harbaugh.
Wouldn't that be funny if they were like hanging out together? Two of the most unlikely people to hang out together. Kayla takes Tyler Big Ball Bass. When it comes to kickers, it's always, do you take the guy that you think is going to, their offense is going to stink so that they will be kicking a lot of field goals, or do you want to take a high-powered offense so they'll kick a lot of extra points? I mean, I think when it comes to kickers, it's just there's like one or two good ones, and it's just dumb luck.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I really want to push for that, getting rid of kickers and defenses and kind of expanding the roster in other places next year. Fucking fly. It left you, and now it loves me. Does it show who you play next or the first week, Kyle?
I have not even looked yet. Normally it's after this draft. Normally then it will pop up.
Yeah. See, we're on Jeremy. Jason Myers. All right, Jeremy indeed does only have one kicker. 2 defenses, though. Juwan Johnson. Off the board. Jake Elliott. Carl takes Tua. That's who I was contemplating with my last position round pick.
He's loaded with a lot of talent around him. Got 2 really, really good wide receivers. If he can stay healthy, that's the key.
Well, dude, he was taking jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be snapping elbows, as Pat McAfee would say. Matt takes the Browns. Emily takes Stafford. 2 more picks in the 2023 Turbo and 2K's Fantasy Football Draft. Mine and Mr. Eggleston's. I didn't know Brandon McManus was still in the league. Chris Boswell's still in the league. Matt Prater's still in the league. Holy shit. Jack took Rondale Moore. I'm going to take Brett Mayer. All right, let's go to my team. Me and I play Carl week 1. So KG, coming after you, kid. Coming after you. All right, well, 2Ks. That was... I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that. Like I said, next year we'll try and get a little more interactive, so you guys can kind of see a little bit more, and hopefully be a little bit more chirping between the fantasy football crew here, rather than just hearing me and Kyle talk for an hour while this goes on. But it was a little over an hour and 4 minutes. So not a bad pace. 2Ks, is there anything left we need to chat about before we, besides Notre Dame's giant win over Navy?
They look good. Quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the key. I think that's where Notre Dame really, really struggled last year, was finding any consistency at all in the quarterback position. And I think, and I understand, everybody's going to say, oh, it's just Navy. Yeah, but it was just a whole different feel from it. I mean, even in games when you're playing against teams that you should, just beat the brakes off of, which Notre Dame should have.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. It just looked like that whole team was gelling. Everything was on time. Everything, and then when you start listening about and hearing all the reports out coming from there about the leader that he is, this is a kid that's played a lot of college football and been very, very good quarterback for a long time at the college level. So, Notre Dame's got a very, very tough schedule. That's what it's all going to come down to, is they're going to have to play some really, really good teams. But on the other end of things, watching some college football, what I did learn last night also is USC's defense is still not very good.
They're terrible.
Still
They're
not very
terrible.
good.
But on the other hand, Caleb Williams, still pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Still pretty good.
But when you play those good opponents, like Notre Dame's going to play against USC this year, and I'm still rolling with Notre Dame winning that game, just because I don't think USC can make any stops on defense.
It's gonna be a very, very good game. I think it's gonna be a better game than definitely what it was last year. But yeah, 2K Crew, you can almost guarantee a college football recap next week, and I don't think I think the NFL is the Thursday after, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, because next weekend's Labor Day weekend, and then the following Thursday the NFL kicks off. So 2K Crew, everyone have a great week, and thank goodness the weather calmed down, because I'm not built for 100-degree weather. So I just finally got my yard mowed today when it was supposed to be mowed probably like Wednesday or Thursday, and definitely not doing that. So everybody have a great week. We will see you next week, and as always, Jim Rome, we're coming for you.